Good evening and welcome to this edition of News Leader on 6. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Jenny English. In tonight's news, State Representative Rush Bricken has received some prestigious appointments in the state legislature. Coffee County Fair has been selected as one of the most improved state fairs, and Farah Elementary School Principal Debbie Edens was the guest speaker for last week's Martin Luther King Day celebration. We'll have these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Chevrolet GMC. Check out this 2019 GMC Acadia, up to 19% off original MSRP. That's Russell Barnett Chevrolet GMC on the bypass in Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back. Tennessee House Speaker Glenn Casada has named State Representative Rush Bricken Vice Chairman of the House Consumer and Human Resources Committee. This is considered an honor rarely bestowed upon first-year lawmakers. The 12-person committee will be responsible for all consumer and human resource-related issues, as well as matters pertaining to Tennessee's workforce. Representative Bricken was officially sworn into office on Tuesday, January the 8th. He is also a member of the House State Government Committee, as well as the House Employee Affairs and the House Public Service and Employees Subcommittee. Bricken lives in Tullahoma and represents Tennessee House District 47, which includes Coffee and part of Warren counties.
Fairs across Tennessee are celebrating the awards they have earned for showcasing agriculture in their communities. Approximately 850 people attended the fair's Merit Awards Recognition Dinner program during the 97th Annual Convention of the Tennessee Association of Fairs, held on January 17th through the 21st. The top award went to the Warren County Fair, which was named the Champion of Champions Fair for 2018. The Warren County Fair was also among the 53 fairs recognized with the Award of Merit based on agriculture, educational value, overall operations, and the promotion of local interest and community spirit. The Coffee County Fair was selected as the most improved fair in Division 3A. The Franklin County Fair was voted most improved in Division 2A.
The local Alzheimer's Association has announced that next year's Alzheimer's Walk will be held in a new location and that Walk Director Kelsey Williams is being promoted to a new position.
But we are going to have a little bit of a change for 2019. We've been changing a lot of things on you guys, and I know that, and I'm sorry, but I think change is oftentimes also good. But I'm going to introduce my supervisor, Jody Rudiger, who's going to talk about another change for our 2019 event.
Thank you, everyone. This is amazing, fantastic turnout. I'm so thrilled to be here. I'm actually originally from Pennsylvania, and I just got here a minute ago. And I started with the association back in September. And my second day on the job was in Tullahoma with Kelsey. And I met Cindy, we had lunch. So for me, Tennessee starts here, right? Okay. So, big clap, let's go. All right. We're so grateful for all the partnerships that we have. Larry is really important to us at the state level. He serves in an advisory capacity with us. So, we got talking and was like, yeah, wouldn't it be great if we could have the walk here? And it puts us in the middle of more communities where we can touch more people, bring more people in, serve more people through our programs, and get the awareness out. So we hope that you're excited about that too. But as Kelsey said, when we grow like this, there are some changes. So, you guys know Kelsey has been knocking it out of the park. She's one of my top performers. What happens when you're really good at your job? Sometimes you get more work to do, right? So I don't know if all of you are aware, but in addition to this walk, Kelsey has been heading up the Longest Day. And that's our do-it-yourself fundraising initiative that we have all across the country. Well, she's been heading it up for all of Tennessee. And she's doing an amazing job. So it is becoming her full-time job. So we'll be transitioning Kelsey out of the walk space, but you're not losing her. Don't worry, she is with us. I'm not letting her go, I guarantee you that. But we do have a new walk manager that will be working with all of you in this community. He came to us from Alzheimer's Association in Texas, where he grew 3 walks from scratch. His wife has family here, so they're back in Tennessee, and we're so thrilled. He actually worked for one of our home office, our national office staff members. So he is so in the family that he is just going to do amazing things for us. So I would like to introduce to you Eliseo Chavez. Please welcome him. So he will be taking care of this walk, but like I said, Kelsey's not going anywhere. You will see them together through this transition. And if he's ever out and about and you're like, hey, can you bring Kelsey by? We can make that happen. So I'll just let him say hi.
Well, hello, my name is Eliseo Chavez. I got a chance to talk to a few of you. And I'm very, very excited. Wow, tremendous numbers for 2018. So thank you. Just want to say again, thank you so much for your support. But I am looking forward to working with you and with all the teams, the team captains, the sponsors, and for 2019 to also have great success. So look forward to working with you. Thank you so much.
Stay with us. More News Leader on 6 is right after this.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma. Check out this 2018 Ford EcoSport, yours today for $299 a month. That's Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma on Highway 55, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party, but things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her. And now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
Welcome back. Major League Baseball player David Hess was the featured speaker at the Tullahoma High School Baseball Boosters Club preseason banquet last Monday night. News leader's Andrew Todd stopped by and caught this presentation. In this segment, David speaks about his career from the end of high school to receiving a scholarship to Tennessee Tech and being drafted by the Orioles.
I had a great year my junior year, and I ended up getting to play summer ball with the Tennessee Twisters that summer. And I know I have one of my coaches there. He's here as well, and that was really cool because that actually led me into my first college offer, and it was from the University of Tennessee. And I don't know about you guys, but I like some Tennessee. I like some Tennessee football, basketball, baseball, and so I was all in. You know, they sat me down and were like, "I really like you. This is what we want to offer you." And I was like, "Done deal. Let's do it." I ended up decommitting 2 weeks later because some stuff just kind of went haywire. And I think they just lost their mind a little bit. But I mean, it was a tough thing to do because that's the thing that I really had worked for so hard that I really wanted to get to. And to have to make the choice of saying what's best for me is to not do what I think is best, or not what I want if it was best. What's best for me is to not do what I want necessarily in this moment. But you know, the thing that I've learned through the years a little bit is God has a way of working things all together the way that they're supposed to be. I ended up decommitting from Tennessee, signed with Tennessee Tech shortly after. We got our purple and gold table here. I'm really excited to have them here. So yeah. So I mean, immediately, like it seemed like just when I walked onto that campus, it was a no-brainer. I walked on, and I got a scholarship, I didn't walk on. But I walked onto the campus, and immediately I had this overwhelming voice of just, yes, this is it. And so I got there, and I can tell you that was one of the best choices I've ever made because the way everything lined up together was just too perfect for me to think it was a coincidence. That was, without a doubt, where God wanted me to be. So I got onto the campus, and I got involved with a campus ministry called Campus Outreach. And that, I made a lot of great relationships, had a lot of good friendships through that. And I think that kind of was important for me because it also set the groundwork for going forward. What I wanted to focus on, because college is where you really become who you're going to be. You know, there's a lot of changes going on. You're on your own. There's responsibilities. And let me tell you, 6 a.m. workouts, that's responsibility right there. Because if you're late, it's not fun. I'm sure Coach Holmes is shaking his head. He does. It's you don't want to be late for your 6 a.m. workouts. And so then you're balancing out just your social life. You're figuring out what everything looks like. Just as a 20-year-old kid, it's just learning how to walk through everything on top of balancing schoolwork. Again, who needs school when you have baseball, right? But I ended up until this year, being the highest draft pick out of Tech in the history of the team. And so that was a big accomplishment for me because I felt like it was almost a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of type thing that he gave to me my freshman year. And I think when you can look at my stat sheet for college. I had a pretty rough freshman year, decent sophomore year, and a pretty good junior year. And I think more than anything, what I took away from it is really things don't always look the way you expect them to be. And the path to get to where you want to be is not usually a straight line. There's going to be a lot of wiggling around. You're going to learn stuff as you go. There's going to be stuff that changes and stuff that you didn't expect to come up. So really you just got to be flexible. The whole bend don't break type thing. I ended up getting drafted in the 5th round by the Orioles. And that was a weird process, I can tell you, because the Orioles they didn't really, I guess, talk to us much early on, so they kind of came out of the blue a little bit. We were, just kind of sitting around, and I actually had gotten really mad, and this sounds a little shallow, but I was mad that I didn't get taken a couple picks earlier because they told us they were going to, so I actually had just walked out of the room. But yeah, so as soon as I got up, I'm walking out of the room, and I hear the Baltimore Orioles select David Hess out of Tennessee Tech, and my first response is, why did my name just get said? And then it was like, oh my God, my name just got said. So it was kind of a surreal thing because I still had to pee, but I was also and so, that was a really, really fun experience. And I tell you what, from then on, we pretty much hit the ground running.
More news is right after this.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. It's a Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. Tom Corrington spoke recently with Coffee County District Attorney Craig Northcott about how the court system works in the county.
I took a look at the detailed cases in the Tullahoma News on Wednesday, and there were 36 listed in the General Sessions Court and 23 in the circuit. And so we were deciding whether that was kind of an average load for close to a week. And in the process, it was interesting the variety of things that were going on. A bunch of dismissals. The judge says, you haven't got a case yet, so he throws it out. There were a number that said that they were what was the term? At appearing. And then a bunch that were appearing that were scheduled, and some at trial. But it was kind of interesting. There were a lot of different things going. It's not a simple yay or nay. So and as I say, I was kind of surprised at the number of. Several cases have failed to appear. What do you do with those, by the way?
Well, there's a couple things. With the failure, of course, you get cited into court. If it's a misdemeanor, the law says that unless there's unusual circumstances, you're to be cited into court rather than arrested and required to make bond. So you get to court by three ways. One, we give you a ride because you're down at our jail and we drive you to court. Two, you get arrested, make bond, and then have to appear in court after making bond. Or three, you're decided into court and never going into our jail. If they fail to show up, the first thing that happens is if they're out on bond, we ask for their bond to be forfeited, and a CAPI is issued, which is a warrant for their arrest for not making it to court. It's also a crime to not appear in court. If it's a misdemeanor or greater, a misdemeanor or a felony that you don't appear on, it is an e-felony to fail to appear in court. So we will then get charges for new crime and failure to appear, and a warrant will
fail
issue
to appear
for
is an additional crime.
It's an additional crime to whatever else they have been charged with and didn't appear in court. So there's.
And what is the crime? Is it a?
It's if it's a B or C misdemeanor, it's an A misdemeanor to fail to appear in court. If it's an A misdemeanor or greater that you were to be in court on, then it's an E felony. So it's punishable, depending on criminal record, from 1 to 6 years in prison for not showing up in court. So that is how we deal with that. And yes, the process is pretty complex. First appearance, you come, you get told what you're charged with. If you can't afford an attorney is appointed for you. And depending on what the charge is, then it dictates how it goes through the process from there. Most of the cases in Sessions Court are, of course, going to be misdemeanor cases, and a lot of driving on revokes, public intoxications, disorderly conducts, simple possession of drug paraphernalia, simple possession of drugs, shoplifting, theft under $1,000 is a misdemeanor. A lot of those type of charges that we'll deal with in Sessions Court. Driving on revokes, for example, we will give them time to get their license back. If they get their license back, we'll reduce it down to a ticket where they'll pay a small fine and court cost, and we'll dismiss the criminal charge. Other cases, they'll have 3 or 4 cases pending. We may work out a deal, and they plead to 1 or 2 of them, and we'll dismiss the others.
Okay.
And that type of thing will happen very routinely in court.
We'll be right back with more News Leader.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Ford of Winchester. Check out the 2018 Ford Explorer up to $8,000 off original MSRP. That's Russell Barnett Ford on 41A in Winchester, home of a lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron and chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory and marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
Welcome back. Ferris School Principal Debbie Edens was the keynote speaker at the Martin Luther King Day celebration last week. Let's watch a portion of her comments now.
Well, good morning. I was humbled when Mr. Cooley asked me if I would speak for a minute, and I said, well, I'll be happy to. I don't know how much you're going to enjoy, but just going to share the experience that we had. My daughter and I, my daughter teaches in Chattanooga. She teaches in a school that is 100% impoverished children. Very few children speak English, and so she has inspired me a bit. I've been an educator for over 30 years, but this summer we decided to take a tour, and we took 3.5 weeks. Now my summer as a school principal is 4 weeks in length, okay, to give you perspective, but we took 3.5 weeks and we decided we were going to travel the Civil Rights Trail, and it was very interesting. The first thing we did is we flew into DC, and as Mr. Cooley was referring to, we went to the National Museum of African American History and Culture. If you've never been there, it is amazing. It is worth a trip if you don't go to any other Smithsonian museum there. It's the newest Smithsonian in D.C. right now, but it is absolutely amazing to learn about the history. Of course, being an educator, I have a firm belief that it's very important that we teach our children about the history of our nation, because if we don't teach them about it, it will repeat itself. So it's very important that we teach it, we help them to understand the blessings that they have, how blessed they are to live in the United States of America, but also the journey that people have gone through to get us to where we are today. Yeah, there's a long way to go, but man, the miles that we've made is incredible. After that, we spent about a week there, and then we flew back into Memphis, where we got a rental car. And of course, in Memphis, we went to the Lorena Motel, which if you've never been there, and you stand on that balcony where MLK was shot, it is like a gut-wrenching experience to do that. And then after that, we had the opportunity to go to the National Civil Rights Museum there in Memphis, and then also to Slave Haven. I don't know if you've ever heard of these places, but guys, Memphis is not that far away. Go, do it, experience it. When you're at Slave Haven, you were actually under the Underground Railroad was, and you went down in the basement where slaves were actually they were held there. I mean, that was their slave haven. That's where they were kept safe, so they could go from place to place to place. You go down there and they turn the light out, and you're in this tiny, tiny little wet room, and you think about people being crammed in there just for their safety. I mean, it is absolutely gut-wrenching. We visited Little Rock and went to Central High School, where you had the 7 students that finally got the rights to go into the high school. It's when the National Guard came in and said, yes, you're going to let these African American students in. But then to hear the stories, oh my gosh, what they went through. One of the stories was about how, they were spat upon, they were treated so horrible, and then, they weren't even allowed to go in the cafeteria. Like some of the kids would hide under the teacher's desk just for safety. And so just when you're there, you're experiencing it. I'm telling you, it was an amazing experience. We went on to Tallahatchie County, Mississippi, where we went to the Emmett Till Interpretive Center, Bryant's Grocery. Again, unbelievable. We went to New Orleans, where we went to the William Frantz Elementary, the Ruby Bridges story, where that sweet little girl went to that school. And then what we did is we just went from place to place to place, just spending the night wherever we landed that night. Probably one of the most incredible experiences for me, all of it was amazing, but was when we actually went to Selma. And we stayed in an old Woolworths building that has been transformed into a beautiful hotel. But there was a beautiful writing piece that the owner of the hotel had written, and it said, it was very thought-provoking. It said, if you think of the worst thing you've ever done in your life, and then imagine if you had to relive it every single day, be reminded of it every single day. Because that's what people think of Selma. People look at Selma and think of, it's where the horrible marches were and the people were treated terrible, but it's a community that has moved beyond that. And so when you went into the Interpretive Center there, we actually went across the Edward Pettus Bridge, which again, when you walk across that bridge, I thought about it when we were walking today, and it's in the cold. I'm thinking, this is nothing. It's a little cool out here, and we're walking 2.5 miles, knowing that, I think they said it was about 2.5 miles. It didn't seem that way to me, but, nobody was in fear for their life. Nobody thought of being injured. No one thought of, we were just taking a breezy little walk down the road, right? So when you think of what those people did, when you go to the interpretive centers, one of the coolest things is they will have actual videos of people today, modern day, and then people that have passed on that lived through the experience. And just their perspectives, oh my goodness, the wisdom was amazing. And so we, walked across that bridge, and then of course, what you know about history is they walked across that bridge one time and they were stopped. That's when they were pushed back and trampled by horses and all those terrible things. And then, that's when they went back, and that's when MLK got involved in it. And then that's when he led the march the second time. And, excuse me, when you see the actual footage of when they marched, and he was, and it was all about peace, guys. It wasn't ugliness. It was all about peace. But they marched across, and when they got to the horizon of the bridge, and they could see what was ahead, when he ordered them to stop, and they stopped, and you saw everybody in that group kneel to their knees, praying to the Lord. It was just amazing, you know, and sometimes we don't, when we hear about history, God kind of gets left out of it. And that was the part that was amazing to me, is because our Father's the one that has helped us along. MLK was a man of God. And so, you know, of course, the second march was not nearly as, it was brutal as well. It still wasn't totally successful. That's when they told them they gave them what? I don't know, 30 seconds or 3 minutes to turn around is what they announced, but then they only gave them like 30 seconds before they started trampling them. And then, of course, the last march when they finally made it across, and how they made it so far, and then so many people had to back out because only so many were going to be allowed into Montgomery. But just when you think about the determination of those people to make a difference, and then it also hit me thinking about those people were determined to make a difference, and a difference that many of them never saw. But my gosh, what a difference they've made for us, for you and I, and how that should be our journey.
Stay with us. Your weather forecast is coming up next.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma. Check out this 2018 Kia Stinger, yours today for only $370 a month. Kia is the power to surprise with its 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Stop by Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma and let us tell you why we are #1 in customer satisfaction. That's Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the two of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's going to be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor, too, when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 2002 at 74 degrees. The record low was in 1966 at -4 degrees. The average high on this day is 49 and the average low is 27. Clear weather expected tonight with a low of around 34. Cloudy weather in the forecast for Friday with a high of 48 and a low of 37. And mostly cloudy weather expected on Saturday with a high of 62 and a low of 43. And that's our newsletter report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for News Leader on 6.
Good night.